everybody, it's me Günes from Munich. I hope you all can hear me and see me. I'm so honored to be here today, and this is my first time I'm doing this format like Instagram TV, so I hope everything is quite well. Please let me know if you need anything, like you don't hear me or don't see me or whatever, and I try to fix it as someone who's not very good in fixing technical problems. Today my topic I'm talking about is about food waste, or better about food sharing, like food saving. And when I came to food sharing, it was 7 years ago, someone told me, hey, there is some organization, some grassroots organization, and they are saving food. And I was like, oh my God, do they container? And then they are taking it and they can eat it by themselves and share it with others. And I felt like that makes me curious. I want to know more about this. And that's how I came to food sharing 7 years ago. And the moment I went inside, I was lost in this space. Why? I don't know how it's for you, but would you say that you are wasting food? If you think on your day, would you say that in the morning, am I eating everything what I have on my plate? At lunchtime, was the portion too big for me, perhaps? Snacks that I ate, but then I left 3 fruit gummies inside and I don't want to eat them anymore. Or in the evening, if there is some fruit and I don't want to finish it, what do I do with that? And for many people, it's often just about wasting food. It's just like, it's just food, you know, it's like, it's normal that we have to throw away something. And I would say, well, is it really normal that we do that? And what is the impact that is happening by doing it? So today I will talk about all this, about what is the impact of food waste? What can we do personally? What should we do? And what does it say about us as society that we waste, and I will say it, so much food? So as I said before, I am from Munich. And just in Munich alone, every day, there are tons of food wasted. Every day. And the tons is 168,000 kilo. And one moment, it's like somebody wants to say something. Should I do that or not? I'm not sure. Okay, I'm just continuing. 168,000 kilos food waste every day just in Munich. And we're talking about food that we as a consumer are wasting, and food that was able to be eaten. So that was not like rotten or somehow not consumable. It was something that we didn't want to continue eating. And 168,000 kilos per day, just Munich. So it's not the world, it's just a city, a big city, but just a city. And it sounds like, oh no, what is she saying there? Because that's too much. This is like, that can't be real. But it's 180 grams per person. 118 grams. Just imagine this, per person, every day. And this is not much. This is like the small piece of bread in the morning that's getting too hard right now, so I'm not eating it. It's at lunchtime, the 1 or 2 spoons that I'm throwing away because I'm full. Or in the evening, 3 strawberries that I can't continue eating. And if you look at it, it's like this apple size. This is 118 grams. This is what we throw away every person per day. And so if you're in another city, you can just calculate it with the population of your city and see how much tons your city is wasting. And I just can tell you, if you once go deep into this topic, you will change forever. Why? Because if you see, I'm business, I studied business administration, and I learned about 5 years to be efficient, to be to optimize things, to squeeze the best out of it, you know, like give less and squeeze out the most you can do. But in food waste, in food production, we are throwing away 50% of all grown foods over the world. 50. When I'm in school and talking to kids about this, I'm saying it's like Mother's Day. And you're making two pictures. One you gave to your mother and the other you throw it away. And all the kids say, that's not logical. And they're absolutely right. But there's one thing, one moment in life where we, or in our society, where we lose this kind of logic. And this is so important to understand. Why? Because food waste is not just this apple that is thrown away. Food waste is how we as a society think about this and think about ourselves. Why? Imagine yourself. How is your lifestyle? I guess you're digital, you're global, you're also local, but I mean, like, we're used to get things convenient. We're not in the soil anymore and grabbing our potatoes out of the soil and eating them. It's very convenient for us to go to a supermarket and buy whatever we want. So what we're doing is we are used to that all the shelves in supermarkets and bakeries are full. This is one thing. The second thing is we don't have any idea about what's regional and seasonal anymore. Because when I'm in the winter time in a supermarket, strawberries are available for me. And just imagine what happens with a kid that grows now, that is raised nowadays, and that is used to see always strawberries in the supermarkets the whole year. Don't you think that this child, when he grows up, doesn't know what is really seasonal? So it has a lot to do with our education system. Because our education system focuses on all other things like curve discussions in mathematics. I had that 3 years in my school time. And I have to be honest, I'm not quite sure for what, because I didn't use that until now. So I don't know if it wouldn't be better to learn in these 3 years more about how is eggplant, how I can grow an eggplant, what it needs to get an eggplant grown, how I can cook it, what it needs to that, and the most important thing, storaging. What can I do if I don't know, if I can't eat it anymore? What can I do with that, what is left? So this is so important that we understand that in our society, food doesn't have any value anymore. And if you see at the prices that it's really getting cheap to buy food. And that's also some kind of our problems, that people are overeating. They are over-consuming calories because it's a lot of food is processed, what we have in supermarkets. And it's like we are living in the former Stone Age, where we have to fight for our mammoth to cook it over the fire. But right now, our task is just to go to a supermarket and buy our food for a very cheap price. And this is something where I would say I don't understand politics. I don't understand why they don't protect us more and why they permit that there is food in the supermarkets that doesn't nurture us, that doesn't give us the best it can give from nature. But these are just 2 or 3 reasons why we are wasting a lot of food. The other thing is what we're doing right now. We're on Instagram, on social media. And can you tell me how pictures, like food pictures, living room pictures, people are at social media? Not me right now, but usually. How are they? How are these pics? Is there anything you can answer me? What is the first intuition that came to your mind? How are they? Normally, people say they're perfect. They're nice. They're beautiful. I have 3 kids. My living room is not beautiful. It's not tidied up. It's just a mess, a chaos. Perfect looking, yeah, absolutely. And this is something, it's perfect. That means our view of normality has changed. Why? This is one I saved today, an apple. And if you see at this is perhaps not that beautiful. It's not that shiny. It's not that green, red, whatever, bright as it is in advertisement. It's a real apple with a life. It had a life before. So this apple was thrown away with 200 other apples today in one supermarket. And this is something when we are not able anymore to understand what is normal and that we think that perfect is the new normal, that's a big issue. And usually when I'm in a school and I'm asking the pupils, the students about who in this room thinks he's beautiful or she's beautiful, I'm shocked because usually if there are 30 students in front of you, yes, it's organic. This apple is organic, absolutely right. But if there are 30 students in front of you, sometimes just 4 raise their hand when I ask them who feels that he or she is beautiful. Sometimes it's 10. Sometimes it's half of them. But what I want to say is, these perfect looking pictures give those kids, and kids, I mean teenagers, students, they are like 10, 12, 15, they think they're not beautiful anymore. And when I was a child, and this is what I try to teach my kids or say to my kids often, I didn't have internet. It's not possible to imagine that, but there was a time when there was no internet. So I was comparing myself with 4 other girls that were looking the same as I was, like normal, you know. And now these students are comparing themselves with millions of other much more good-looking girls and boys. And we know that it's fake, but they can't absorb it sometimes. But what I wanted to say is, because of our picture of normality regarding humans, regarding living rooms, regarding food, we are throwing away food that is looking like this. Or like this. This orange has a peel. When I open it, that I know that it's very tasteful inside. Or this. It's not that bright anymore. It has a little bit of age, but it's tasteful. I know that. So what you can perhaps see from the example is that it's in our hands what we do with that picture of normality. If we continue to post perfect looking pictures from whatever it can be, we're doing something with the mindset of people. And the last reason why we're throwing away food is also, how good are we in believing in ourselves? I mean, like, if someone throws away a yogurt where a date is on it, it's in German Mindesthaltbarkeitsdatum, or in English it's the best before date. Someone like the producer is printing a date. Why is he doing that? First of all, he has to do it from legal side, okay. But second of it, do you know what this best before date says about the product? Do you know that? Is there anything that you feel like, yeah, I know that, like in school? Do you know that? What does it say? The best before date on a yogurt. What does that say? I'm just waiting some minutes because perhaps you will come with comments. I'm quite sure, because it was before when I wasn't waiting long enough. I can just start perhaps. It says something about if it's okay to eat until this date. Like the producer says, yes, that that he is sure that if you consume it before this date, it will be good for your health. Like it won't be damage you somehow. Yeah. But then it also says a lot about which quality do I want to give outside. The consistency, yes, the consistency about this. Perhaps you know this yogurt, it's called Obstgarten. It's a yogurt where you have some yogurt base and then you have some fruit thing on top. And what the producer doesn't want you to eat it when it's a little bit mixed because of just staying there. It's not bad at all. It's not. But it's not that beautiful. Then he wants you to eat it. So it has something to do just with the view, with the consistency of the product. But it says also that the smell and the taste and how it looks like, that this is the quality that I, as a producer, want you to offer. And if I think I can't offer this, then I'm shorten this date. But that doesn't mean that this yogurt is bad after this date. And at Foodsharing, sometimes when we meet each other, then we're like saying, oh, you know what? I ate a product that was over the date for, and now, believe me or not, but one yogurt that we ate was over the date 1 year and 2 weeks. 1 year and 2 weeks. And do you know what we did to evaluate if this yogurt was good? We did something that birth gave us, nature gave us. We opened it, we watched inside, we smelled it, and then we tasted a little bit. And then we decided, our opinion said, okay, I think it's good, so I'm continuing eating. Or it could be also, I don't think it's good. And this is the last reason. Yes, 1 year. And this is the last reason what says about much about our society. If I am as a citizen, if I'm not able to make up my own opinion, like believe in my sensors that I have, then it says a lot about whom I'm trusting. And if you see the political changes in society, that sometimes if people are strong leaders and telling you the solutions you didn't came up to because it's too complex, then it says a lot about this, if you trust yourself or not. And so if still you think, Günes, hey, sorry, but it's about food. No, it's not. The food waste, it's just a symptom. It says a lot about our society. Again, how convenient we want things, how seasonal, regional we buy things, how educated we are about knowing what it is, when it is, and how to cook it and store it. It says a lot about our picture of normality, and it says a lot about how much do I trust myself as a person. And if I'm not trusting myself at food, why should I trust myself in other topics that are much more bigger than that? So this is what I like at this about this topic. Often people think, oh, now she's talking about food waste, and then they're really amazed about what it really says about us. So, but still perhaps you would say, yeah, Günes, but I can't do anything against that. You know, it's like it is, and I'm not the one person. We know it's 118 grams per person every day. But perhaps you know the website drawdown.org. Drawdown.org is a website where 200 climate activists, scientists, and other engaged people came together, and they made up or researched and made up the 100 most influential activities, actions on climate crisis. So what really makes an impact if you do that? And if you go on drawdown.org, you will see that food saving, yes, it's drawdown.org, eliminating food waste is number 3, most powerful action in the world. Again, because half of the food we are producing somewhere, growing, we're throwing it away, 50%. So every time when your boss is coming and saying, hey, be more efficient, then you should say, did you throw something away today? Did you throw some food away? Because if yes, stop telling me being efficient. Be it efficient on your own. And if you understand this and understand if you're not throwing away this 118 grams per day, then you're not just doing something on food saving, you're also saving the world. And this is so amazing with such a simple tool to save the world. And I am saving food in this organization Foodsharing. So if you're interested in, just join us. It's Foodsharing-München.de, and or this is our local page, but the organizational page is foodsharing.de. And there are different steps to get into activity. One of them is you join the website, you register for it, and then in that moment you're already able to share your food, for example. So if you're tomorrow or after Corona, if you're going on vacation and you have like 2-3 liters milk and say, hey, I can't consume it anymore, and if I can't return, yes, this is the local page, thanks Tia, and then foodsharing.de is the other one. And if you say I can't consume it, and if I'm coming back from vacation, then it's already not good anymore, then you can give it digital into this foodsharing.de, and then someone else can say, I would like to pick it up for free. It's all for free what we're doing, so it's voluntary, and then they can pick it up with you. Or you can do it at the other side, so that you look who is giving food away, and I can apply for it. So this is the simple level of food sharing. And what you can do then is, like I am doing, you can say, I would like to go to the supermarkets, bakeries, restaurants, wherever there is food, there is food saving opportunities, and ask them and take the food, and I'm taking something for me, and I'm sharing the other food. And if you want to do that, then you have to do a test. You have to pass through a test. It's a simple test. It's just about knowing, if you read the documents, to understand how the process is going to save the food, what to think about in hygienic standards, etc., etc. And if you pass that, then you go 3 times with an experienced food saver to this stores and take the food. And afterwards, if you pass that successfully, you get your own card and you can do it on your own. We are saving everything that is given to us because we are educated to judge if that is something I can give away or not. So, for example, if we get fresh raw meat, then we're not sharing it with others because there is this bacteria stuff inside. But it could be like damaging people's health. But if we are also taking packed goods, sometimes we get like noodle packages that are broken, like open, then we also took it because it's like dry food. And we are taking cooked meals also. One thing, for example, that I've done, that I'm doing now for years, it was the 5th time, I'm doing every year my Christmas dinner. And the Christmas dinner is that was inspired for me from tollwood, because we are also saving food from the tollwoods. It's an ecological Christmas and summer event. I have to say, there's the Christmas event, but then also the summer festival, and it's all ecological. And they're cooperating with Foodsharing, and we're saving the food. And 6 years ago, when I was participating in the SAFE process, I saw that how much food that was. You can't imagine. 4 hours, we were walking around, about 20 food savers around the whole festival, collecting the food. And it was everything, like from cooked meals, about the raw material that was already cutted or that was not cutted, bread, oil, everything you can imagine, herbs, salt, everything. And then after this 4 hours, these 20 people take food with them. Then about 40 people came to also take food. And there was still left 2 till 3 Volkswagen transporters, like big transporters. And that was something when I saw that, and it's really hard at Christmas, it's the day before Christmas, 23rd of December. And it's very hard to share that to people and give it to people, because a lot of people are with their families, so they're not in Munich anymore, or their freezers are full.